Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ian Ernsberger, and I am the host of the Making Theater podcast presented by MTV Arts and the Alcove Dinner Theater. This is our third ever podcast, and today we're going to be sitting down and talking to Jocelyn Bates. She's part of our Up-and-Comers Next Generation series of podcasts. So let's take it away. I am here with Jocelyn Bates. Let's just start off where this is kind of a Up-and-Comers portion of a podcast, so we're kind of talking more about, you know, the next generation, if you will, of young people who are going to do all the stupid stuff that myself and Bruce have been doing for years. In fact, I was actually that generation. Now I'm grown past that generation.
That's
I'm
hard
now,
to believe.
yeah, it's now your generation that gets to do all of this stuff. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a recent high school graduate. I graduated last spring, and I've kind of been in this area for majority of my life. I kind of started doing theater about 8 years ago. I think 8 years ago from Music Man. And
Yeah.
8
Well,
years
oh, yeah,
ago.
music. Oh, no, 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013. I
Yeah.
had to think about that.
So, I mean, I took a little break for a while, a couple years, but I've kind of just expanded on what I've been doing with theater, kind of just nonstop.
Yeah.
Jumping in with that.
And that's good.
nonstop
You have an
theater and work.
excitement for it,
Yeah.
which is it's so. Where did kind of that excitement come from? Like, when did you kind of all of a sudden realize, hey, I really like doing theater or anything, performing in general? Like,
Yeah, well,
because you dance and sing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have you're the triple threat that none of us are. None of the other ones of my generation are.
Well, my dad's always been like a really big musical influence. We all kind of sing in my family. We've all been singing. He did a lot of theater back in high school and college, and he kind of saw when we moved down here. He kind of saw the auditions for Music Man and at the local high school at Fredericktown High School, and he kind of said, "Hey, who's my biggest personality of a child? Which one would be okay being on the stage and not get freaked out?" And he told me, hey, let's go audition for this show. Like, I want you to go audition for this. And I did, and just the moment I did, I said, yeah, that's it.
And you were, who was it? I can never remember. I've done this show twice, and I still don't remember all the names of all the characters in Music Man, even though I really like the show. But you were the daughter.
The mayor's daughter. I was Gracie.
Mayor's daughter,
Yeah.
yes. But were you the one doing the piano?
No, that's Amaryllis. That was Jillian Short.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
that's how much I really only focus on the Harold Hill character in that show.
Makes the rest of us feel pretty loved.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I shapoopied once. I'd like the Harold Hill once.
There you go.
But yes, I completely, and that makes me a horrible person, completely forgot that you were in that show.
Oh,
But I kind of forgot a lot about that show
Yeah.
in general.
yeah, that was kind of a whirlwind summer, too.
It was a long summer. It was a 2013. Heck, I was getting married.
Yes.
So yeah, there was a
you had
lot.
your
There
wedding
was a
right
lot.
after
So
that.
yeah, if I forgot you, it's fine.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
all right.
you know.
I made a comeback.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Is you made a comeback and you made a statement and you made yourself memorable.
Yeah.
So you came back for Bye Bye Birdie?
Yes. It was actually classics. I did Miracle Worker. Came back for that.
Oh yes, you were one of the kids.
blind,
the one of the
blind
yes.
students.
Yep.
I came back for that. Kind of said, all right, I like doing plays. That was kind of one of my first plays. And I came back for that, and then I said, I kind of want to sing and dance again. So that's when I decided to audition for Bye Bye Birdie.
Awesome.
It's kind of been nonstop since then.
Yeah. Now, was 2017 also Godspell?
Yes.
So you actually went from Miracle Worker,
to
Godspell.
Because I was introduced to Scott Elliott, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of Godspell.
So that was the next year then. That was 18, right?
Yes.
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 Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
I don't. Time is just nothing anymore. I can't think of anything anymore.
No.
But it would have been Miracle Worker first, right? And
Yes.
then
And
Bye
then-
Bye Birdie. You didn't do the kids show
It
that
was
year,
Miracle
did you?
Worker, then Godspell, and then Bye Bye Birdie. Because that's when I met Megan Campbell and Mark
Oh
Mayhem,
yeah.
and then we were all in Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't like growing up. I don't like you guys all growing up. I don't.
It's
I mean,
scary.
I'm getting used to myself growing up, but now seeing everybody else go, oh yeah, I'm graduated this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to college, or oh look, I'm getting married, and it's just it. Cool. That's what it looks like to me. It's just cool, awesome. Yeah. Thanks for making me feel old. But okay, so you got back into shows, and then you didn't do the youth shows. You only did Annie and Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I was I'm homeschooled, but I was open enrolled at Fredericktown High School, and I did the marching band there. So the junior shows kind of tied in at the same time with rehearsals for marching band and stuff. So I really couldn't be a part of those until my junior year. I decided to quit marching band, and I assistant stage managed Lion King Jr.
Oh,
that was my first experience with the junior shows.
Yeah, and that was 17. That was 2017. It's so much, now I just feel like an old man who has no idea what he's talking about. I'm just like, yeah, I remember back when we did that show. What day was that? It was 19 what? So yeah, I remember that because you were helping with Kate and everybody.
Yes.
So yeah. So what's it like actually to transition back and forth from those kind of shows, to go from the youth shows to, the full-blown musicals? Because you actually started with the full musical, then went down to the kid musical.
Yeah.
And it's not going down, it's just, it's more of a learning experience.
Yeah, it's more of a learning experience, really. You just, with kind of the summer shows, it's kind of, you still learn things, but you're kind of thrown in and just kind of like,
you're expected to kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I feel like it's a lot more pressure being in the big summer shows. Like, they're bigger casts, but it's also like, wow, I'm working with all of these people that are a lot older than me, that all have been doing this a lot longer. And kind of when you're in the junior shows, it kind of feels like everybody's kind of on the same level. It almost feels like everybody's kind of learning together, everybody's kind of growing together. So it's I like the transition, definitely. I like the different feelings of the different shows, and I like doing the shorter rehearsal period with like the shorter show too.
Yeah, it's the shorter show.
Yeah, it's just
you're not sitting there going, "Wow, we're 2.5 hours in and I haven't done a scene yet."
Yeah,
awesome.
Not even that. It's even just like how fast the rehearsal period goes, where you're just there and you're just working.
Yes,
and there's no downtime.
How about the workshops in general? Like, how are they? I mean, when you kind of come into the kids shows and the junior shows, and you're thrown into these workshops, and you have to learn the music, the dance. And they give you sides and everything, and it's all in 1 week, or it used to be. Now it's in 3 days.
Yeah, when we did Annie, I feel like there was a lot more we did more acting exercises and stuff, and we were all still kind of together at that point. We were just breaking off with doing the kids and the junior, so it was still, we were doing a lot of the exercises and stuff, but then transitioning to like Willy Wonka, that was kind of just like, okay, we're preparing you for your audition.
Yeah.
And that was because it was the shorter workshop, and it was kind of like, here's the sides you're going to be doing, here's your music, everything, like, we're just going to grind it out and kind of get ready for the audition.
I mean, I gotta hand it to you guys. I can't do that. The stuff you guys do in these kid shows and junior shows, you all know everything. You know each other's lines, you know each other's songs, you know each other's choreography, and I look when I'm doing a show going, I don't know my lines, I don't know my choreography, I don't know my songs. It's amazing how quickly you guys can put this stuff together, and I wish almost that I would have had these kind of opportunities when I was younger, because we were just kind of thrust into it as well. So, we had to just learn on our own. You guys are getting this experience to be able to grow from one level to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah, so, definitely. Yeah,
I'm a little jealous of that.
Yeah, I wish I would have found out about it sooner and been able to do more of the junior shows, definitely.
Yeah.
Doing just 2 of them.
I mean, being able to come in and know all of your songs that you have to sing and when you have to sing them. I mean, my first audition was me walking in with a little karaoke machine, setting it down in front of the casting people, and singing Miss Otis Regrets by Bette Midler.
Oh.
So, to her singing. It wasn't a karaoke track. It was just her in the background singing, and I just had to out-sing her.
You sang with Bette.
But I knew nothing about auditioning. It was just the first show that I had ever wanted to audition for, and I was, a kid, and, kids need to be an Oliver.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's go do this.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with Music Band. I don't even think I sang any kind of musical theater. I think I sang some kind of folk song we did in my middle school choir. So I don't even remember what it was. But we auditioned at the theater, and that was
yes, we used to do that.
Very intimidating.
Yeah.
With a single microphone on the memorial stage,
and you really can't see any of the casting committee
at all.
It's a little bit. It's hard both ways, actually. Like being here at the warehouse and seeing them be right there. You know, they're less than 20 feet away
Watching
from
them
you.
Judge you. I don't know which one I would prefer. Not being
Exactly,
able to see
not being able to see you, and then you just hear this distant voice going, "Thank you."
Yeah, or just being able to make eye contact and watch all of them judging you constantly.
It's a little intimidating both ways.
Yeah. Auditions in general.
Oh yeah, auditions in general just are not fun.
No.
Okay, so you've done all of those shows. You also have helped backstage in multiple shows. What is that like, and does it kind of give you, especially as a young performer, more respect for all the aspects of theater?
Oh, definitely. I kind of like to do, I'll do a show on stage and then I'll work backstage for the next one, and I kind of rotate it out just to kind of feel the difference, so I don't get too overwhelmed with doing one thing in each show.
Mm-hmm.
And I try and move around and try and work like I've worked lights before. I've started on some sound stuff. I do a lot of stage managing, crew stuff. And it definitely gives you a whole lot more respect for the behind the scenes. Definitely. You really don't know what all goes into making a show until you're doing it.
And you've now done them at multiple theaters, too, because you did tech for Diary of Anne Frank, right?
Yeah.
So you did Diary of Anne Frank at Centerburg.
Mm-hmm.
You did tech for Little Shop.
Yeah, and that was my third alcove.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been at the alcove, you've been there, you've been at the memorial.
Yeah.
And it's all different kinds of areas. So even that is something to be kind of like, wow, I don't know. Okay, I'm in this area. Okay, there's a limited space. I've got to make sure, now I have to run back through a little corridor and down the wing to tell the actors that they have to make sure they're ready to be on stage. Or now I have to go all the way down 5 flights of stairs and down through a little hallway and say, hey, you're supposed to be on stage right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to see that, and I think that does kind of humble you almost, because a lot of young actors, and even people my age, and even people Bruce's age, can be a little, I wouldn't say rude, but they don't understand all the things that you have to go through. Mm-hmm. And that they may think they know how much time they have to get on stage. They may think how much time they have to get the prop, or that, the prop will be there, I know, so they don't want to do all of that. And I think that's, again, it's not a rude thing. I think it's not really arrogance either. I think it's just, you expect it. Mm-hmm. You just expect it as an actor. You're like, I should be able to know when I'm going to be on stage because it says right here in the script, I need to be on stage, or my prop has always been there. That's where I'm going to go get my prop. So, but again, it's live theater. People can cut out pages of dialogue. Your prop could get dropped. It could fall behind something. You just don't know. So I think it does kind of give people a new perspective of theater to be able to do it, and especially at your age to be thrust into those kind of things and go, hey, learn it. We're going to show you how to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that being able to know every aspect of theater that I possibly can definitely is going to be something that's going to help in the future.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how about quarantine life? Obviously, you have not been able to do any theater or performance. And it's, I know everyone's kind of just like shaking almost with this kind of like, let's go, we're ready. So what have you been up to? I know you've been working a lot.
Yeah, it's mostly been working.
Now, have you been kept up with, singing or anything like that, dancing?
I've tried. It's all just been self-critiquing or family critiquing in my own home.
But that's the thing. You have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I know Kate was telling me that she was, my wife was telling me that she was very upset that she hadn't been singing. And she's like, I haven't sang in months, and I need to keep doing it. And me, because I don't really like singing, I don't understand what she means by that. And it's because you want to make sure you're keeping up, that you're keeping the breath support, that you're keeping your vocal cords ready and prepared. And I'm just going, I just sing when people tell me to.
Yeah, I've definitely missed the lessons and the shows and stuff. It's mostly just been solo concerts in my car, but
that works.
It is what it is, yeah.
I sang a song in the car, and I was belting this thing out, and people were looking at me strange next to me. And then I realized when I got home, I was like, wow, my throat hurts.
Yeah.
And Kate immediately yelled at me and said, that's because you're not doing it right. And, I'm not following those techniques, but I was just so excited to sing a song.
Yeah.
Which is surprising again for me. But it was just, in the moment, had my music on and in the car. I'm like, wow, I want to sing. Yeah. Is there any kind of part, and we don't say dream role around here.
Okay.
That is a forbidden word from people higher up in my pay grade. But are there any kind of roles that you long to perform? Let's just say that. Like that holy grail that you just don't know if you're ever even going to be good enough to play that part.
That one for me has always been Fontaine in Les Miserables.
Okay.
Les Miserables. I've got a few years before I can play that one, but that one is up there also with like Louisa from the Fantastics.
Oh.
That was my first show that I saw in New York City. My dad took us to see it off Broadway. And I immediately fell in love with that show. I knew nothing about it going into it. He was in it in high school, and he said, we're going to go see this show, and immediately fell in love with that character. And that was the first monologue I actually ever memorized I did a show with Orange Barrel. I did It's Wonderful Life, and my monologue was Louisa's monologue.
Yeah, you've actually done stuff with other companies too.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, that's even better. So you've actually gone out and done things. You just auditioned for Weather Vane.
Yeah.
Did you do the Fantastics monologue from that?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I thought you had told me that you were doing
that.
that. And
I did.
I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that when you said Fantastics, I was like, I think that's the monologue she said she was doing. So you're actually even still getting out there to try to do things. Now, unfortunately, that all went away. But they're going to be doing it again next year, the whole same season. But I know there's other roles. I know you were talking about Into the Woods.
Yes.
You want to do Witch and Into the Woods. I even said Little Red. I think you'd be great as Little Red. There's a lot. I love that show.
That's one of my favorites, definitely.
But is there anything else? Is there any plays? I mean, I know you're kind of go towards the musical aspect of it. But is there any kind of play that has had a profound effect on you that either you've read or you've seen even snippets from that you kind of go, I should do something like that?
I'm kind of trying to get more into plays. I've kind of always just been, because my household and my family were so musical oriented that it's always just kind of been musicals. But I kind of just like, if I see someone's doing a play, I said, hey, that kind of looks interesting. And we jump in and try and audition for that and kind of learn the characters through that. Or if I take any classes where we're reading any plays. I haven't had any that like stick out to me as much as a lot of other musical roles, but I love doing both. I love doing plays, definitely.
I will say one that I think you should read is Angels in America. I when I was younger tried to read. I was like a sponge. I just said, give me scripts. I've read a lot of bad scripts. I would get like, ooh, the Pink Panther Strikes Back.
Oh, no.
Or I'd get Les Mis, the play. And it was, obviously a terrible adaptation.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. So to just grab it and read it and pick it up. And then once I started taking classes in college, people were handing me things like Fences. And I was like, this is awesome. This is a great show. Why haven't I ever heard of this before? So I know that you are planning on going to school.
Yes.
So you're planning on going to New York?
Hopefully. That's the goal. That's definitely the goal. We got to figure out a couple more things and just stick around a little bit longer to try and see if we can get there. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
Now, is there a certain school in New York or?
The dream school would be Institution of American Musical Theater.
Okay,
That's the dream school. That's the top. And it's kind of just like I'm going to audition for as many as possible. Whoever will take me.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, there's a great, NYU, they all have great theaters there. And even here, we do have some very good theater schools to, even if you can't get there at first, to start somewhere and then be able to go there. There's always opportunities. I looked into New York. It's too expensive for me even when I was young. But there's something about that place. Yeah. New York and Chicago are like the two hubs of
I haven't been to Chicago yet. That's on the
theater.
bucket list, but...
and I know I've always wanted to go to London. I've always wanted to perform there in some way, shape, or form. That's really neat, and I hope you can do that. I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
There's no reason why you can't, besides the fact that you can't go there right now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing holding you back.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing holding you back, kid, is just, the disease.
At the moment, yeah.
But what are you looking forward to here? I mean, I know our season is kind of up in the air. I know, are you hoping to be able to help out with Frozen?
Oh, definitely.
And whenever we can come and do a dinner theater
Just
again.
because I'm too old to do the junior shows, you can't get rid of me that easily. I'm gonna be around to help out.
I need someone to help me with mics and someone to, wrangle the kids for me.
Yeah.
So, and I know you like doing that.
Definitely.
But that's another thing that I've always liked about you is that you've always kind of just jumped in. When I said, hey, which I felt really bad doing, but I kind of need help with mics. We don't have anybody. I mean, you and Isabella just kind of jumped in.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would show up and you'd have them all
We'd
done.
have them done by 8 in the morning.
But that was, and I was like, man, but she's also playing Charlie. She doesn't leave the stage. It was really, it made me feel good that even if I wasn't there, it was still in good hands. So not only could I trust you to do that, but I could also trust you to be on the stage and do, a 65-minute, 70-minute show.
Yeah, and that's kind of nice with some of like the slower pace like plays at the alcove and stuff, where I've kind of had time just to observe things or even like help out with those and learn things from you, from Kate, from Bruce, so that I can, when it's like a higher pressure situation or when it's like really just needed for someone to just jump in, it's really nice to just be able to know what I'm doing, just kind of jump in and take care of it.
You kind of just did Little Shop, so you did a full musical on a small stage.
Yeah.
Pretty much just on your own, in charge of everybody. And, then we're a bunch of older actors, experienced actors, being told by someone younger than us to, hey, get on stage.
Yeah, that's definitely a little intimidating.
Or, hey, move this over here. Get this. I need this on. They're out here. They're singing. You got to go. But I think you handled it really well. I mean, you were always there. You knew everything that was going on. If Bruce kind of threw something at you, which tends to happen, because he just thinks of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it does help. And that is such a small stage. You've got multiple changes that you have to do in a short period of time. But there wasn't really any complaining about it. It was just, I'm going to step up and kind of show everybody that, I'm young, but I'm still there. I'm just right there along with you for the ride to make the best ensemble. So that's cool to see, especially since I've known you for a longer time, to be able to kind of see you grow into your own and then boss me around.
Well, I definitely have pretty good teachers. Pretty good teachers.
Yes. So about that. So is there anyone that kind of, even, it doesn't have to be like, oh yes, Ian has taught me everything I know and I owe him everything. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, you and Kate definitely have kind of taken me in and kind of shown me the ropes with pretty much anything. I could pretty much come to you guys with any kind of questions, any kind of, hey, I need help with this, or hey, what can I do? What can I learn? You guys have always just kind of shown me what to do, or kind of taught me everything I know between you and Kate.
Well, you did ask. I mean, you had asked me a couple of times about a song to sing or what I should do with the character. You came to me a lot with Charlie, and I mean that was my job as an acting coach. But a lot of times, especially younger actors, want to be told what to do. But you kind of came up and said, "I would like to do this," or "What do you think of this?" And as a acting coach, 'cause I'm not a teacher, I'm just a coach. It's kind of impressive to see youth come up to you and either question you or give you suggestions, because a lot of times they just rely on the director to give them everything. So that was really impressive to see. But I mean, outside of Kate and I mean, really kind of, who are people that you saw, even people you saw in movies and in musicals that kind of inspired you or motivated you to kind of go, I think I can do this?
Well, I mean, probably one of the first exposures to, like, theater for me was definitely, I think I saw the 2004 version of Phantom of the Opera. And
I'm sorry. I saw it in the theater, so I'm even more sorry. But
I mean, I've always been kind of partial to that, because that just that helped spark an interest in theater for me. I saw that, and I just instantly fell in love with the music. It wasn't even necessarily the movie. It was kind of just, like, the show.
Yes.
And seeing that, I said, wow, I want to do that. And then I realized I sing alto. I'm not as soprano as I would have liked to be, but that was always just kind of something I was like, man, would I love to play Christine someday. That was my That was kind of
my holy grail
get-go.
is the Phantom,
Yeah.
but it's
it's unrealistic now,
Yeah.
but that kind of got me a jump. And even just like watching even Disney movies as a kid, even watching Disney movies and saying, "Oh, I want to sing like that. Oh, I want to be like that."
Yeah, and that's good. The way I kind of learned theater, not theater, but the like acting and reacting, was watching movies and old movies, because a lot of the old time movies back then, they had just come right from theater. So the lighting was like it, the acting, it was so, I wouldn't say bad, but it was meant for live theater.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit and watch that. I would watch old time things for comedy. I would watch Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, Marx Brothers, Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Which explains why I always get the crap beat out of me in every show I do. But also things like The Genie. I've said this multiple times, that The Genie, Robin Williams, was the reason I wanted to even do theater.
Yeah.
I said, I want to be able to do all of those voices. So it's wonderful to see that even you guys can do that and say, I watched this movie and went, wow, this is what I want to do. Or I would watch a Disney thing and go, obviously I can't be a talking fish,
No.
but I can be a person dressed up as a talking fish and singing a song.
Yeah, and I've always been drawn to bigger characters too. Like Mary Poppins is one of my favorite movies as a kid, and I wasn't one of those that I want to be Mary Poppins. No, I wanted to be Bert. I wanted to be the funny character. I wanted to be the big character that was just goofy and just looked like they were having just such a good time, and that was definitely...
And that's a fun thing. That's a great thing to do. I that's what I like to do. That's what I'm known for doing, are just those characters. But that's what's fun, is because then you can see maybe down the line when someone comes up to you and goes, I saw you do that show, and it made me kind of want to get into theater. I think it's Andrew, right? Ruckman?
Yeah.
He said he saw me in Beauty and the Beast in 2007.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to get into stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I was like, oh, I don't cry. But I'm like, wow, this is, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, that's so neat that I could do that for someone. And that had happened to me. So it's the circle of life, like the Lion King. So so are there people though that you actually admire for what they do on stage? Like certain people that have been in musicals, not even, doesn't have to be us in general, but I mean it could just be anybody that you kind of go, I really just, the way that they perform, there's something about it that just hits, in my stomach, in my heart, in my brain. Is there anybody like that?
Yeah, even being a part of the classic series, having done stuff with that, even just for around here, seeing people actually have to dig into these characters that people know so well, and kind of watching, I think, who was it? Seeing Megan Evans do Anne Sullivan for Miracle Worker, seeing her dive into that character, that was a big one for me, while she was also taking care of the props, while she was taking care of a lot of the backstage stuff, kind of watching that and being like, wow, that's really cool. That's something I definitely want to do. Or even seeing anything live for me, I always am just drawn to, even the entire cast. I don't even pick out just one person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's awesome, because you can just look at even going and seeing a show live and then saying, I want to be up there someday because look at how much fun it is for them. Look at how much work and how much it means for them to do the show for us.
Just to watch someone transform, go from having them move you in a show and then even talking to them in a receiving line and seeing, wow, they're just like me. They're just a person, but they were able to transform themselves into that character where I was believing that they were actually that person.
Yeah. It's really, it's had a big effect on me over the years to see certain things in certain roles, seeing things live and going, wow, that person just gave... I mean, I always rag on Bruce, but the best thing I've ever seen him do was Death of a Salesman. And yes, I directed it, but it was the fact that I'd never seen him do that. And he had this effect on me where it was just everything he did, I didn't want to like him, because he was kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
But it was also the fact that everything he did was just, everything that was going on around him was constantly beating him down and beating him down. And I could see that from the audience.
Yeah, I kind of felt that when I saw Bruce when you guys did 12 Angry Men the second time. I came and saw that. And just kind of seeing, like, you really just, like, don't like his character.
Oh, he was an awful man in that show.
Character.
He was
you
an
just
awful
see how
man.
raw that is on stage, and you feel that, or you can even think of, like, wow, maybe I know somebody like this, and it's just kind of, you know, watching him do that, too. That was probably the most... I haven't seen Bruce do a lot of shows, but...
Most of the shows I've had him in, he's had daddy issues. We figured that out the other day. We were like, we have a lot of daddy issue shows that we do with you and I. Or granddaddy and dad issues. It's
I've
really
only seen
interesting.
Bruce in a few shows, and that's, I saw him Over the River and Through the Woods, that one definitely, and 12 Angry Men. And he did Miracle Worker, but I kind of...
He's kind of there. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not about.
Yeah, and
that
I was
as
just
a
in the
focal
one
character,
scene, and it
yeah.
was like, and then I was working with crew and stuff. Seeing even those two contrasting characters with Bruce was definitely...
And actually, he
really
does
cool.
have some daddy issues in that too. Like not him as the father.
Yeah.
With the son.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting into something real interesting here. That'll be
turn into
another
a
podcast
conspiracy.
with Bruce. It's just going to be
Yeah.
a daddy issue show. What are you most proud of when it comes to your performances?
I'd say I kind of keep Miss Hannigan and Amy Jr. kind of towards the top with that one. That one was that was such a fun character, and that one, the fact that, I know this sounds terrible, the fact that I had children that wouldn't come up and talk to me at the receiving one because they were so scared of me or because they didn't like the character. I mean, that kind of...
Means you're doing something
That,
right.
to an extent, feels good, you know? It was just like...
Means you're doing something right.
Yeah. I mean, Miss Hannigan was definitely... That was my first junior show, and that's always kind of been a dream role, too, that I kind of got to fulfill. Not in, like, the full show, but seeing, Cara Burnett do that, like, that was...
Yeah.
And watching that and saying, wow, that looks like that would be so much fun, and then actually being able to do it, that one was definitely on the top there. And then doing just about a year and a half ago, doing Sweeney Todd. That was such a demanding show.
Yeah.
And the fact that we all were able to pull it off and, do that was...
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been weird to think that was over a year ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, you were just a chorus member, which it isn't just to say you're just a chorus member, but even for your age, being a chorus member in a show like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, and with such a small cast of chorus members even. It was a very demanding show, and we all kind of pushed ourselves with the...
So would you say, like, the most proud of the effort that you seem to put into things, like the challenges that you give yourself?
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I've been given this, I need you want me to stage manage. Okay, let me figure out how to do it, and I've done it.
Yeah,
so
when I was come with to stage manage Little Shop of Horrors, I was like, by myself this time. Oh, you mean Kate's not going to be there?
No, I wanted her to see
this whole
that.
thing with me. Doing this whole thing. That was the first time I was really just on my own back there. And it was doing a full musical. It wasn't even just doing a play. And to have that challenge even, and then, putting in the work, and then seeing the end production, seeing the show, and, opening night, I was kind of just like, wow, we put this together, and it was...
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun to watch all of these kids grow. I hate it because then they leave me and they forget about me. Oh. No, but it's not that. But it's great to see them be able to grow almost in front of you, and you kind of grow to respect them as an equal. You don't look at them as like, well, you're 19, you're 20, you're 16. You're looking at them as someone who is just on the same level as you. You're not, they may not have the experience, but you have the respect for them because they're putting the effort into it. They're putting the time. They want to make sure that what they're doing is their best work for you or for the ensemble. Yeah, okay, yeah, I will say, yeah, you only really said Fantine as a role that you wanted to perform, that was one of your other ones, and that you wanted to do the witch. Is there anything else that you kind of sit there and go, and it doesn't even have to be female, because now they're doing shows, Company, they just switched the Bobbies.
Yeah.
So it's something that's going to happen more and more often. Is there anything that you kind of look at and go, that's what I'm going to do?
That's Catherine and Newsies.
Okay.
As if we ever do Newsies, I want to play Catherine so bad. I dance, but I mostly tap dance. And she's got the King of New York, she's got her whole dance, and that definitely, like, if we do Newsies, I'm gunning it for Catherine. I'm kind of for that.
I mean, is there any other places are you going to try and go and do Weather Vane again?
Yeah.
Or would you even go in and do? Because what I think the Renaissance now is doing group auditions.
Okay.
Like not group auditions, but they do all their season, kind of like Weather Vane. So they kind of just do a big audition and then they put you in the shows. Would you even think about going and doing that? Because
Definitely.
right now we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We know we're going to do probably the kids show. The dinner theaters are probably going to be smaller.
I mean, it's harder when, like, now that I'm getting older, now that I actually have a car, and that I can drive myself to these theaters instead of relying on my parents who have 3 other kids that they're constantly driving around to other events. Definitely, I'm looking forward to branching out. Like, I love MTV Arts, and I definitely am not going to stop doing it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. We want everyone to go out and do things and learn. You know, you can go out anywhere. It's not like people get judged for going out and doing something someplace else. It's another learning experience.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is you can always come back and bring what you learn from there here.
Yeah.
So if that's why I love theater in general. Is yes, there's always cliques. And I mean, you get that with older groups, you get that with younger kid groups, you get that with teenagers. You get all of that, where they get kind of testy when you're from out of town, or when someone from out of town comes into your group. You know, I think what's nice is I don't ever believe in that. I want people to just be able to go out, experience theater, and just pick what they like, pick where they want to go, pick what shows they like. Just because we're not doing the show you want to do doesn't mean that we're not going to do a show later that you want to do. I mean, I knew we weren't going to do Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
so let's go and do Sweeney Todd.
A bunch of us went and did that, and we went to such a good company. They all welcomed us in definitely, and that was a really cool experience.
And a lot of our people came and supported us.
Yeah.
And came and watched it.
Yeah,
and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that even though it's not exactly the most happy show.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not happy in any way.
No.
But they came to support us.
Yeah, which was really cool, and even taking a lot from that experience, being able to bring that here and just growing from that. Every show, you're constantly growing, constantly learning things, and whether you're doing that in your hometown or you're going somewhere else to do that, it's definitely really cool that we can always come right back here and everybody's always going
it's like this is your home, but you can go on a vacation.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I see it as. I'm like, I've been with Bruce since 2004 when we started the Alcove Dinner Theater. I've been with MT. Let's say we're not going to get into that. Let's we don't have to talk about that. But it also was, I was there in 2007 when we started, even though it was still under the Alcove or Bruce Jacklin Company. I was there for the creation of MTV Arts. To be able to say like, oh yeah, this is my home.
Yeah.
But I'll go and have a vacation at Weather Vane or at Coshocton or at the Renaissance. Kate just went out and did Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
That was so fun to go see her in that too.
And that's great because there's still opportunities. That's all that matters is that there are opportunities to do the arts. It doesn't matter where, just as long as there's opportunities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you are looking forward to doing other shows around here. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we're going to be doing here. That's the downside. I just don't know.
I hope we can do Chicago. I was looking forward to. Bruce asked me. Actually, I was in line at Lowe's with Bruce. Ran into Bruce at Lowe's and said, "Hey, you want to do Chicago if it happens?" I said, "Yeah, definitely." So I'm hoping Chicago can happen.
I think it will. I think there's going to be some hiccups along the way about how we space people out, how many people we can allow, how many performances we can do to be able to try and make up for the fact that we can't have 100 or 80 people in the alcove. Yeah. So actually, going off of something, let's go back to this quarantine new normal thing that's going on. How do you think that theater is going to change? As being a younger person that is going to have to kind of really deal with it. Going forward, what do you think it's going to be like?
I mean, I've kind of been in denial about the whole thing about things having to change. Just kind of be like, all right, just get me on the stage. I don't care what has to change. Just get me back on the stage performing. But definitely, I think it's going to be interesting with how they're spacing people out with audience. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue, but even just like on stage and with the cast interacting and stuff, and even just like filling the theater won't be a problem if it's cut down, but even having to turn people away or not being able to.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there are so many people wanting it. They want performances. They want live arts. They want dance. They want music. They want theater. Do you think, though, that even with that excitement, that people will still come?
I think so. I think people have been cooped up long enough. People have been quarantined long enough to where they just want to go experience something real again, something live again, and just be out there and do something, whether it's even just by themselves or with people, so you can actually go enjoy things with other people, I think.
And no one's doing a drama for like a really long time.
No.
Everyone's like, wow, we should do some dramas. Nope, you're not allowed to do a drama.
No.
Everything has to be happy and fun. Slapstick musical
waving your arms
comedies.
and dancing,
We just anything. Farce, just get it funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there will be a lot of changes. I think there'll be a lot of awkward things that are going to be adjustments.
Yeah.
I think with like our receiving lines, like do we still get to do the receiving lines and photos?
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that has been so special for me, and I know. I mean, I've seen you in the receiving lines where kids have come up, asked for your autograph, and even as a young actor, having someone come up and ask you for their autograph is just
it's such a cool feeling.
It's such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
And to have their picture taken with you. So I mean, I don't want to lose something like that, but it's going to be figuring out how do we change that? How do we adjust to that?
Yeah.
So I think that might be one of the hardest things for me.
Yeah,
is to be able to see. I don't want you coming up and going, "Hey, great show, great show." I don't want the praise. I just like that having the kid come up and they don't see me, they don't see you, they see Miss Hannigan, they see Charlie Bucket, they see Lord Farquaad or any Bert or Gomez. That's who they see. That's who they want to see.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take that away from them. I just don't know how to adjust it to make it work.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to still be able to do something like that.
I hope so.
But other than that, I mean, is there anything else you would like to talk about? Anything you got? Anything issues? Anything deep?
I mean, I don't think so.
Any skeletons in the closet that you just want to admit? Any lies you've ever told your parents that you just want to have come out over this podcast that some people listen to? Yeah. You're like, I snuck out and did some cocaine.
What are you talking about? I'm the golden child.
So now
anything wrong.
That is actually another thing. So your dad kind of got you in.
Yeah.
He says got you into theater. Now I know Minda has done shows.
Yeah.
But does she not have that kind of same excitement or passion for it?
She does. I think that's something that's definitely gonna grow the more she does it. I mean, I was kind of hesitant at first. Like, I was ready to, let's do a show. But even, I took a couple years off even and realized, I actually missed that.
And that's the thing, because you can get nervous to go, I don't know if I still want to keep doing it. It's a lot of time.
It's
I've
a big
got school.
commitment.
I've got commitment. And there can be sports things, anything like that. So then, like you said, taking a couple years off or taking a show off, you kind of sit there and your knees shaking. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I'm ready. Let's go back and do another one.
And like she loves to sing, she loves to act, but she's really just dancing's a big one for her. So if it's a dance heavy show, she's there for it. But she's definitely.
But yeah, other than that, I think that's good. I think we learned a little bit about you. This has been a lot of fun to do, and I'm going to keep this going on, and we'll call you for other ones for lists and top tens and things like that. But this is our up and comers, I guess, section, our younger generation, next generation podcast. So thank you for joining me on
Thanks
this
for having me.
Rant Fest.
Yeah.
Hopefully I let you talk a little bit. I feel like I let you talk. I feel like we got down to some nitty gritty about you, and I think you found some things out about yourself that you didn't know.
I did.
That made you stronger and better. Thanks to me again.
A journey.
It's always fun. I've missed this. This stupid coronavirus has just been awful to making fun of. How can I make fun of you if I'm not around you? It's not fun.
Your ways.
I know. Texting, it's not the same.
No.
But yes, thank you for joining me and having fun, hopefully. And, getting to tell a little bit about you, and
Yeah.
hopefully you'll be able to go on to the next step and see some successes.
Fingers crossed.
Exactly. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
If you do double, I guess it makes it negative, so I don't know.
Okay.
They say if you do 2 double finger cross,
I've not heard that.
then it's negative.
Okay.
I don't know. 2 positives is a negative. I don't know. I don't do math. I'm an actor.
Me
We don't
neither.
do math.
Yeah, that's. we're going to theater.
I don't do math. So yes, so thank you for that, and that's about it. And there you have it. That's just a little bit about Jocelyn Bates. Hopefully we'll be able to see her on stage soon. Next Wednesday, we're going to have a very special guest and a very special episode, so make sure you tune in and listen to that. Remember to follow MTV Arts and the Alcove Dinner Theater, which is under Bruce Jacklin and Company, on Facebook and Instagram. Also, like, share, and comment on the posts about this podcast. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and any suggestions you might have for any podcasts further down the road. As always, I'm your host, Ian Ernsberger, and we will catch you on the next one.